Hello everybody, this is Jeremy Tauth in the DAW. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Vertigo Sound VSS-2 Discrete Channel Strip 84 from Plugin Alliance and Vertigo Sound. Now, this is the newest plugin from Plugin Alliance, and I'm going to be honest with you. I have not used any of the Vertigo Sound plugins before, but this is actually an emulation of a bunch of their stuff. So let's take a look. Vertigo Sound actually has their own plugins, and they have some with Plugin Alliance. And I believe the compressor and the saturator are plugins that are emulated already with Plugin Alliance by Vertigo Sound. The discrete gyrator EQ is not available on Plugin Alliance, but it is available on Vertigo Sound's website, and it is a plugin and a piece of hardware. I believe the filter section, the discrete VCA, the gyrator EQ, and the tube saturator are all emulating a different hardware and plugin combined into one channel strip. The filter's very smooth. It goes from 20 to 5,000 and 20 to 500. You have your discrete VCA compressor, which has a really wide range of attack and release. And let me actually just go to B. Have 0.10 milliseconds all the way up to 40 milliseconds, 50 millisecond release all the way up to 1200 milliseconds, an auto mode, a soft knee, 2:1, 4:1, and 10:1 ratio, and you have your sidechain filter of 90 hertz, 120 hertz, and off. You have your bypass right here. Your EQ is really interesting. It is not a fully parametric EQ, but it can pretty much do everything. The high shelf will go from 500 all the way to 20K, and it has two really interesting shelf filters. This one is the smoothest, while this one seems to have a little bit of a dip in the predominant frequency right under it, and also kind of boosts a little bit more aggressively. The high and mid bell go from 20 to 20, and they can be very wide and kind of like Neve-esque tone shaping, or they can be pretty narrow and still not super tight, but very, very tight still, and it's very good for surgical EQing. The shelf does the same thing at the low end as it does on the high end, but this goes from 20 hertz all the way to 2K. This can be pre-compression, and then you have your tube saturator, which absolutely sounds amazing. You drive it, you change the shape, you change the tube, triode, pentode, and I believe the shape kind of smooths out the top end, makes it not do as much high-end fizziness. A mix knob, volume knob, soft or hard limiting, post filter, and your output. This thing is extremely light on this CPU and sounds absolutely amazing. Now, for this demo, I am going to use the demo I created for my musicomplit video. I hope they don't mind, because I really, really like the way that it made this track sound. So let's listen to the drums. Cool, so that is my drum sound, right? I am using the ML Sound Labs ML drums. Everyone knows that that's what I use. I'm using the dual kit. I really like the kick from Grit and the snare from Grit. But I'm using dual. Ooh, I forgot I had this. Yeah. Okay. All of my plugin processing is right here. For the snare, I'm using the Elysia envelope. And as you see, we're basically using all Plugin Alliance plugins in this session, except for my guitars. I don't like Plugin Alliance amp sims. We're using the Vertigo VSS-2 on every single channel. And then I'm using BX Aura for my reverb. I really like this plugin. It sounds really good. So let's bypass all my processing on the drums and let's listen to the raw tracks. It's just bringing these drums to life. If we solo up the drums, sounds so good. Now, the Vertigo VSS-2 is on a massive 125% zoom because I have a 4K screen under me. And it looks so itty bitty. My two screen capture screens are 1080, and then my other screen is 4K. So what are we doing on our drums? So I have the high pass filter on at 50 Hertz. I have the discrete VCA set at a 10:1 ratio using a filter at 90 Hertz. And then I am doing some boosting a big old cut at 169 Hertz. And then a boost at 5 dB at 100 Hertz. The tube saturation, well, that is really cool. So we're going to copy, I'm going to paste it here. And let's just listen to this. All right, that sounds good. That sounds good. Let us solo up just a kick. Oh my gosh. That sounds so good. Let's take everything off one at a time and just bring it in. Tightening it up. And then here's the saturation. That sounds so good. Check out this saturation. I really get excited about this saturation. So I'm at low, so this is only going to distort the low end. Let's go for the mid. So cool, right? It literally only adds harmonic enhancement for the lows, mids, the highs, the full, and then the track. It's really cool. And I can actually hear the difference between triode and pentode. I guess I just wasn't doing it right. The soft and hard definitely changes the sound, and the shape kind of rolls off and smooths the top end distortion. Let me show you. It's really cool. So again, off. And I'm not louder than I was before. It's all distortion. The snare. Let's listen to the snare. Great sounding snare, but I find that like ringing frequency in ML drums just annoying. So I kill it. Then I go for the Vertigo, and we'll take a look at this. We'll copy it, we'll paste it here, and we'll just listen. So different, right? It sounds like a little like pa-pa-pa-pa-pa. So I'm filtering, I'm doing some compression at a 4:1, and then I'm doing a lot of EQ, mostly scooping out 500 Hertz-ish, right? I'm boosting at 170. I am using the high frequency saturation over the full or the track. And there's a reason for that. I'm doing this because I then want to use a reverb to kind of add some psh. Makes it sound like a little cannon shooting. And it will if I use full. But I liked it. I kind of wanted to go for that thin tone in this case. I thought it fit. Right? That sounds really good. Versus here. It's such a huge tone shaping tool. I'm going to have to buy the Vertigo saturator that is sold on Plugin Alliance because I really like this. So now next month, my next Forever 21 subscription coupon is going to this, the other Vertigo plugins, because I really like the way this thing sounds. It's so cool. The toms. Now the toms, I don't really know what I did to the toms. I don't think I did anything to the toms. Let me see. I did nothing to the toms. Didn't seem to do anything to the hi-hats. You see, this is what I'm talking about. I like ML drums hi-hats and their toms. I don't really do much to them. But then on the ride, I did nothing as well. I'm just adding a little bit of color. I'm pretty sure it just adds some color just going through. And then the overheads is where I do a lot of stuff. So here's the overheads. You see that I'm really dulling it out. And the reason for that is because it's going to sound cool in the mix when I smooth it out a little bit, because I'm not touching the overheads, like the rides and the hi-hats in the mix at all. And I'm touching the toms like barely on the overheads in the rooms. I'm not touching them, the solo mics. So what I'm doing is I'm dulling out frequencies that I don't really like. I'm doing a high shelf, cutting almost 2 dB, boosting a lot of low end and mid frequencies, and then I'm focusing the tube saturation here in the mids. Now, do I think it sounds better at full? Yes, but this is the thing. I again add a reverb to this. And when you add everything else, it just really fits in. It just kind of helps everything else shine. The room, I'm doing a lot. So let's listen to the room with it on. It is mean, it is nasty. I'm using the track distortion. This distortion, it adds so much life. And this EQ, very good for tone shaping. It's kind of like a better Neve. And I hate to say that because I own a lot of Neve gear and I love Neve gear because of its tone shaping capabilities. But I want whatever hardware I can get, like the gyrator EQ. I want to buy one. This sounds amazing. I hope it's stereo because I definitely cannot afford buying 2 of these. This discrete VCA, really good at crushing this. Just smushing it down. And that gives us this total sound of this. And then the final little piece, the touch that's making everything that much better, is the Vertigo on the drum bus. Now for this, listen to that. So much more attack. I'm adding a little bit at the high frequency saturation. I'm doing a mix of this. I'm having a little bit of EQ. Again, shaving off the high end and shaving off the high end. Look at this. Doing a little bit of boost at the like high mid frequencies and a boost at the low end. I am not using the high and low pass filter, but I'm doing a little bit of compression at a 4:1. I'm making this relatively fast with a fast release. All of it is just adding a little bit of smack, and it sounds amazing. It just adds that little bit of oomph. Now next, we have the guitars, and these are the exact same thing. We're using the exact same processing on them for the left and right. And so for this, we're going to just solo this one up. And we'll select this. And this will really make sense if I bypass the processing on the guitar bus, right? So let's take a listen to this. So I'm making it sound a little bit smaller. I'm adding some distortion. I have the VCA compressor not doing anything. I'm using a lot of EQ to kind of shape the tone, and I'm filtering out the low end. But when you add the bus processing, and then the reverb, it just makes it sound really nice and big. And when you have the left and right, It just gives it a little bit more grit to cut through. The final thing is the bass guitar. And for this, I'm mostly using this as a distortion machine. Let's just play it. Let's just play it and listen to it. Now for this, I am using the Mix Wave Ashdown. Everyone knows now I use this thing for everything. But I am really, really just doing a lot. If I bypass everything, you can see what I'm doing is I'm rolling off low frequencies. I'm doing a lot of soft knee compression because you don't get any of that peaking sound where it'll go like pop, pop, or it'll pop out. It doesn't have any spikes. Soft knee compression, it basically is like this. It's like a really nice rounded shape. And where a normal compressor would be like this, where it processes right here and then it starts compressing, a soft knee is basically compressing way before you pass the threshold. And you don't see it because it's not quite past the threshold where you can see, but you're always doing compression. And it sounds very smooth and soft. It doesn't have a punchiness to it. It's got more like a pillowiness. And then I'm using the gyrator EQ to get rid of this high frequency at 1K to almost 2K. Boosting at about a little bit higher than that. And then I'm using the gyrator EQ to cut around 1K, and then I'm boosting at about 13K. I have a boost at 100 hertz and a boost at 5K. I'm then using the tube saturator to focus on the high frequencies, and I'm not worrying about the mix at all. It is all just giving me that like clankiness. It's like simulating the sound of a pick, but because I'm using the soft knee and the compressor, it's keeping it very consistent. So it's like giving you that tone without giving you that like dynamic interference. So in the mix, I think it sounds amazing, right? Now, yes, it does kind of seem a little bit quieter, and that is because I do have it turned down in the mix a little bit. I can make it the same volume that it was by just double-clicking here, but I don't really want to have it that dominant because I found it very flabby and very just muddy sounding. It's just the DI that they used. And this is kind of making it just kind of cut, and especially right here where it's just playing by itself. It's just cutting in the way that I like it. Yeah, and then on my mix bus, the only thing that I'm using is the Kive Audio Infuse. Everybody knows I use this thing. One thing that I didn't know is in one of their updates, they added the high frequency compressor from the SSL Fusion and the bus compressor, the SSL bus compressor. So I'm using that now. That's really cool. Definitely grab an update if you own that plugin. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. My initial thoughts on the VSS-2. I didn't know Vertigo Sounds plugins were this good. And if their plugins are this good, I want to buy the discrete EQ. Just flat out. I'm going to start saving up and buying the discrete EQ. If it's stereo. If it's mono, maybe not. But I'm definitely looking at buying the hardware version of some of these modules. The plugin is amazing. I'm thinking of buying the saturator that Plugin Alliance has, the Vertigo one. Man, this is an amazing channel strip. I highly recommend this be on your list. It's very good. Very good. I've used it across this entire session, and at no point did I feel like the session was lacking. It just sounded really good. Anyway, links down below. This is Jeremy Mateo within the DAW. Please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me I suck. tell me this was helpful. Yeah, tell me if you like the plugin. And yeah, I'll see you later. Oh, tell me what you guys want to see next. All right, gotta go.